Dear Spirit, please connect me with a past loved one of any of my subscribers or anyone who will be watching this video. I am receiving a masculine energy. His name is. He wears thick glasses with dark rims. He wears regular pants with a button-up, short sleeve plaid shirt. This man is a past loved one that is known to you. This man knows your heart. He's loved you for a very, very long time, and not only watches over you now, but watched over you as a child when you were young. There's a fire. He's showing me the fire in your heart. And he's showing me the fire in his heart. And you both connected in this way. This man saw your light. He encouraged it. He thought you were beautiful and radiant. This man had a lot of responsibility. He was a pillar in the family. He cared for others, especially his wife, who had physical issues. This would have been your grandmother, making him your grandfather. He's showing me that he used to drop pennies on the ground for you to find. And you would collect them in a jar and be so proud. He loved to brighten your day, and he loved to see you smile. You lit up his world, he's saying. You still do, he says. He's giving me the words, Maroon Mama. He's showing me a giant tree in his front yard in which the leaves would fall every year, and he would rake them up so you could jump in them. This activity reminded him of his own childhood, though he never spoke that to you. But it was the giant maple, which he loved because it reminded him of his own childhood home. This man connects with you in many ways. He was a bit of an alien, like you. But that didn't really matter. I mean, it did, but this man knew who he was. He was a being of light. And holding that light requires immense strength of spirit. And he brought that wherever he went. And he brought that to your world because you needed it. There was tremendous darkness in your world. Demonic forces, some would say. Many demonic forces, he's saying. He's giving me the word, capturing. He's showing me a bedroom that you used to sleep in at his house. It had a cross on the wall. He's showing me this cross bleeding, and he's referring to visions that you had as a child. And he's highlighting the dark ways in which Christianity was used against you. People were afraid of you, he said. You knew too much, he said. They wanted you to shut up and forget, he said. They wanted to cover things up, he said. Certain people didn't want you knowing certain things. Your mother and others. Your mother would chant over you, he said. He's calling it negative spell work. And she was terrified of you, he said. She would chant over you in your sleep, he said. She wanted you gone, he said. You were a liability, he said. You were a weight, an anchor, he said. You were unloved and used for profit, he said. He's giving me the words muggle and muzzle. He is referring to you as a child. You said things only God could know. She didn't believe in God, but she used God to demonize you, to cast spells upon you, but had to keep a straight face for others, he said. She had to pretend to love you. He's given me the words fake and facade. I saw you, he said. The spells cast over you were meant to destroy you. Numerous demonic energies which were summoned to keep you in fear so that it would block your light, so that it would block your ability to receive your divine messages, he said. And this is why she did not console you or protect you from the demonic forces which attacked you every night. Unloved, he said. Fake love, he said. Masquerade, he said. Possessed, he said. The dark entities worked through her to attack you. He is pointing to work specifically done on your solar plexus chakra to annihilate your sense of self, your sense of personal power. And this is why you had so much stomach pain throughout most of your life. He is pointing to these experiences, this childhood. He is pointing to this being one of several cases, experiences, where Jesus, Christianity, was used against you, but you were the light. You were the truth. She didn't like the truth, and you shone brighter than her. And your light highlighted her darkness. He's giving me two words: shroud and secrecy. There was a shroud placed over you to keep you hidden, to keep others from noticing you, seeing you, hearing you, believing you, he said. She made it so if you were to ever tell about how you were treated, no one would ever believe you. You saw how she wielded her power for her own benefit. You saw that she was not upright. She used her connections against you. In particular, to keep you quiet, to keep you hidden, to keep you powerless, he's saying. She used her time with you to spy, to monitor you, to experience your strong intuition, and to never validate it. He's giving me the word program. And he is referring to two things. One is manipulation of the mind, whereby her consistent invalidation were used to control, he's saying, to keep you in a constant state of self-doubt, to never believe in yourself, in your own thoughts, he says, to have to seek her for discernment, is what he's saying, so that everything would be run through her, so that everything you did, every move you made, would require you to seek her validation, her approval, he's saying. But also, program is referring to some kind of government program that she enrolled you in, that she received money for, to study you, to track and monitor you. This program was she was made aware of this program through I don't know why I'm getting the word inheritance. Something about your spiritual inheritance. Tracking, he's saying. Exposing, he's saying. Exchanging of information, he's saying. And he's pointing to someone you were married to. He's pointing to the men in your life. He's giving me the word communication and in the loop and need to know. He's giving me the words giant, experiment, and he's pointing to the length of your life on a timeline in which you have been observed, studied, monitored, and manipulated. To keep your gifts suppressed. To keep you hidden. To keep you from speaking truth. He knew, he said. And he's referring to someone you were married to for a very long time. He was in the loop, he's saying. A need-to-know person in order to continue the oppression, he's saying. He's giving me two words: surveillance and systemic. He is pointing to the power that these primary people in your life not only wielded against you, but were institutionally enabled, encouraged, and contracted with to do so. He is saying, he's giving me three words: morph, mortified, and mortician. And for some reason, he's pointing me to someone, a doppelganger, who's meant to appear like you, behave like you, present legally as you, to replace you, he says. To kill you, he says. To engulf you as if you never existed. I'm getting the word placate and transition and Truman Show. Truman Show. To observe how you move, your behaviors, your mannerisms, your personality, he's saying. Retaliation, he's saying, for separating yourself from her ability to observe you. And he's pointing to a woman who has not only been energy harvesting through video camera, but studying, taking over your life, he's saying, and becoming you, he said. To erase you, he said. He is pointing to a man. He's giving me the word handler and hitman. because you had removed yourself, because you would not play their games, he said. A person was recruited to approach you, to assist you, to get you to trust him for the purposes of monitoring over you, over your life, he says. He's giving me the word heist. For some reason, I don't know why this has German connotations, but that is coming through. This person was recruited to handle you, to retrieve personal information for further study, but also to complete the heist, I'm hearing, and then to kill you. Red rum, he's saying. This person got out of Dodge, he's saying, when you intuited correctly, he's saying. He's giving me the word contracted and hit for hire. And he's showing me who paid for it. Someone who's holding on to your money, he says. Something about a microwave. He just gave me the word crossbred. He's referring to children. Something about disease and immunity. This is in regards to studying DNA. What is passed down, what isn't. He's also referring to testing in regards to how much a person can take before going crazy, he says. Before killing themselves, he says. Before catching on to others, he says. Before embracing your gifts, he says. He is showing me the end of the movie Truman Show. He is showing me Jim Carrey walking out of the simulation to the world where he is no longer spied on, where he is no longer held in complete captivity for the benefit of sick, psychopathic individuals who participated in this study. And he's bringing me back to the word program, to those who run this program, the government, he's saying. He is showing me no longer being in that false world. He is showing me you finding your way out of the simulation. You trusting yourself to lead yourself away from false people and to hold faith that even if you don't know what is going on around you, you know that it isn't right. And He is showing me you trusting yourself to escape captivity and to walk by faith and not by sight. He's giving me the word monstrosity. Also the word layover. He's showing me an airplane. Someone is traveling to you to tell you about this. To congratulate you. He's giving me the words sick and twisted. He also just gave me the words Mordor and Mormon. Something about the study of DNA. And children. He's saying larger forces are at play here. There are people at the children's school who have some kind of knowledge about this. Need to know, knowledge, having something to do with child trafficking. Having something to do with Mordor, which is a combination of the words red rum and order, referring to placing an order for a child or children for the purposes of red rum. This having something to do with a Mormon, he's pointing to the Mormon church who studies lineage for the purposes of finding out who is related to Jesus and others, to Abraham, I'm hearing. Hearing the word golden ticket. He's showing me that people, children, are used for harvesting blood, DNA, organs, sexual acts for the purposes of breeding. This having something to do with the Holy Grail. Again, I'm getting the words Mordor and Mormon. Could be someone specifically in the children's school who is Mormon and involved in sex trafficking children. For all of the purposes I just stated. I'm getting the name. This is a name that has come up in several readings. For some reason, he's giving me the words, Field of Dreams. I also just got the words, Murder Capital of the World. What the hell? He's referring to some kind of land. He's showing me an image of a golden wheat field, but underneath the soil is a whole bunch of skulls. He's giving me the words, forgive me not. He's referring to there needing to be an end to this kind of operation. Forgive me not is in reference to forget me not, which is also a reference to spell casting. There is dark spiritual practices being used to harness and harvest children. Specific bloodlines, he's saying. Specific DNA, he's saying. He's giving me the word path and showing me like a paper trail of family history, genealogy. He's given me the word forecast. He's talking about keeping track of certain people, certain bloodlines, and waiting for them to produce offspring. So that they too can be monitored and tracked, harvested for their energy, he's saying, as well as their lives, their bodies. Munchkins, he's saying. He's showing me like a stillborn or an abortion. DNA harvesting, he's saying. They do this in hospitals, he's saying. The hospitals are paid to do this, he's saying. Something having to do with plasma as well. word forgetful. This is in reference to some kind of paperwork that someone signs in order to receive care for the deliverance of a stillborn, or to obtain an abortion, or to dispose of the remains of a stillborn or an abortion. People sign documents which they don't really realize that they're signing away their rights to their DNA, their blood, their genetic attributes, their body fluids. He's calling them their namesakes. He's giving me the word racket. It's a business, he's saying. And it's linked to the tracking of family histories, genealogies, procurement and study of genetic information in regards to these bloodlines. As well as the overall tracking of the life course of these certain individuals belonging to these family lines, or to any people or family lines who are enrolled in this program having to do with being spiritually gifted, having to do with the monitoring and the suppression of their spiritual gifts. The Spirit is recognizing how difficult this message may be. He is letting you know now, because He knows you can handle it, and that you know He is telling you all of this from a place of love. Great deep love, He says. And He is watching over you. And He is right there with you, protecting you, helping to lead you out of the situation. You are guided and protected, he says, with much love. I want to thank the Spirit for coming through, and I am disconnecting now. Thank you all so much for coming to my mediumship series, The Dead Speak. Our past loved ones have a lot to say, and they very much want to communicate with us. Connecting to our loved ones who are still on the earth plane is a real opportunity for spirits to communicate things left unsaid or things they want their family and friends to know. Most of all, they want their living loved ones to know that they are not alone and that they are loved and being guided from the other side. I do hope this reading reaches the person or family it is meant to. If you're interested in receiving communication from a past loved one, you can create an energetic connection to my channel by subscribing and watching my videos, and they could come through in one of my free collective readings here, or you can book a private mediumship reading with me directly at my website, ReneeGomez.com. Engaging with my channel in any way actually helps, so be sure to share this reading with family and friends to help confirm any information that feels unfamiliar to you. If you appreciate my mediumship, please boost the algorithm by liking this video and consider making a donation to support my work. Donations are never expected, but always appreciated, and can be made anytime at my website or at any of the links found in the description box below. I am sending you all grounding energy and love. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you at my next reading.